On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her, right? And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kids. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. Mm-hmm. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays.
Have you wondered why divorce rates are continuously on the rise around the world? It sure does seem that way, doesn't it? Well, statistically and surprisingly, divorce rates have once again decreased in the Western world. But contrary to popular belief, the divorce rate is still not at an all-time low or even very low levels. There is a twist to this statistic, though. Divorces are declining as a result of a significant drop in the number of people getting married. Women are becoming anxious. Girls are left feeling helpless as they witness males abandoning the game of dating and marriage. So why does all of this favor men? Because it indicates that men are becoming more and more aware of the dangers of marriage. More and more men are going MGT0W. More and more men are choosing to not get involved in serious relationships with women. They choose not to get married since they know it doesn't offer them enough. You could be thinking what wonderful news is that the divorce rate in the United States has fallen to a 50-year low. There might be a chance for someone like me to find love, marry, and have a happy marriage. Only 14.9 marriages out of 1,000 last year resulted in divorce. If you do the math on all marriages ending, that proportion comes out to be close to 50%, which may not seem like a very high percentage at first glance. The marriage rate in the United States dropped or just reached a record low in 2019. It has reportedly been declining quickly in recent years and just achieved a record low in 2019. I recently read an article that described how thousands of men were choosing to not get married. It was written by a female author, and she expressed her opinions on why this development had women worried all over. The article said that marriage rates were decreasing and that it was a terrifying concept. Imagine dating a man for years, cohabiting, and giving the relationship your all without him ever having to put a ring on it. There would be no marriage, no wedding dress, and there would be no huge celebration with family and friends. What about the thought of having children without marriage? So the author makes it sound like this is something that is already happening or has happened. I'm going to read an interview that is on another article where they are kind of under the impression that ladies are approaching them secondhand because they want to make the most of their fun years. There are two ways to look at it. The first, secondhand because she has dated other men and is in the used market. But let's face it, most of us who get married, have married, or engage in long-term relationships fail frequently. As a result, you never arrive looking fresh and excited saying, "Hey, I've never been with anyone else. I'm available for your first use." Let's be honest. That just doesn't happen, at least anymore. Many of the women say, "But I never got to experience what it's like to be with other people, and I'd like to figure that out." So, let's be honest. At this moment, that is more or less a pipe dream. The second market, by which I mean guys, is when they say things like, "Look, when you were cute and you were young, and you were lively, energetic, and having all these amazing times, that's when I wanted to date you. However, you hung out with the attractive, athletic, and well-liked guys from that time and ignored who I was. Meanwhile, I was putting a lot of effort into getting my degree, improving my intelligence, launching my own business, or getting my projects completed and getting sponsorships from big corporations just so that I could have a great career, a financially stable life, and self-generational wealth. Now that I'm finally standing on my own feet and proud of what I've achieved, you're trying to enter my life again." In such situations, men tend to say no. They say, "You want me now that I'm at my best. Why did you ignore me while I was at my worst? Just because things are going nicely for me?" The article's female author thus goes on. If you don't think marriage is important, that's great. The rest of us do. The majority of women hope to get married to the man of their dreams, but if millions of men choose not to do so, This will not happen for many of them. This is what is currently taking place throughout the world, including in America. The long-term decline in marriage, according to Philip Cohen, a professor of society sociology at the University of Maryland, is greatly influenced by women's independence and gender equality, independence, and equality for women. Women are the ones making this choice. If a woman showed up and said, "Hey, I got my degree. I've been in a few relationships, and they didn't work out, but I'm interested and I'm 23 or 25 or even 26 or 27. And I want to have a long-term relationship and a family, and I've made good decisions in my life, so let's do it." It would be interesting to see what would happen, but I can guarantee that men would primarily be okay with this. Women are saying things like, "Hey, 40 is the new 30. I can party, have a good time, and freeze some eggs, and this is a thing." Women are going out later and later purely for fun and casual dating. I'm not the only one noticing this. Then, when it's time for family, they say, "Okay, I need to locate a donor or a man. I have to defrost those eggs. Having a family now while I'm only 42. Well, a lot of men are saying, "I'm out if we have children or if you show up for the deal with children already." Or they say, "Look, you want babies now. I'm 40, or she's a little younger, the guy is 45, or anything of that effect." He says, "Man, I'll be 65, practically 70 years old by the time the kids are 20. I'm not interested because I wanted to have children when I was younger." So by the time a man is in his 20s or 30s and begins to live and earn money alone, he has long since stopped thinking of himself as a part of a couple. Before you know it, he says, "Hey, this isn't too bad of a bargain. Maybe I don't get to have kids and live with a wife, which is fine because I'm having such a good time." The article goes on to say that there has also been an increase in men's rights movements like Men Going Their Way, where males in large numbers complain about how unfairly treated they are in relationships and family courts. They're sick and weary of being treated unfairly by laws that discriminate based on gender. Because of this, millions of men are choosing not to get married at all. We discuss those laws as well as how society views us negatively. This is not something we internalize. I don't internalize anything that people say about me negatively or that society says about men, patriarchy, or anything else like that. I think men must be vocal about these things because that's how you shape laws. Otherwise, the laws will remain unfair toward men and they will continue to suffer. Men are becoming sharper. Men are avoiding marriage or, divorce. The marriage rate has already dropped to its lowest level in history, and if my predictions come true, it will continue to do so because of new laws that come into effect that degrade men, disgrace men, and declare that men are terrible. So forget about it. We won't respond violently or engage in confrontational behavior along with marches and parades. We'll simply say, "Okay, fine, I'll do my own thing. I'll be happy on my own. I'll have a fantastic group of guy friends, and we'll go riding our motorbikes or hunting in the jungles. We'll do everything we possibly can to enjoy our lives and live in contentment." Let's look at some of the societal factors that have contributed to the fall of marriage. Male interest in marriage is at an all-time low. This is probably why commitment-free intimacy is becoming the norm. They don't have to swear to get married, to have children, to honor, obey, and cherish, among other ridiculous things you say in marriage vows, precisely when it's now convenient for many men. Hey, I can swipe on Tinder and eventually hook up with someone. Others can look for a professional woman on specific websites. The fundamental quality that men look for in a mate is intimacy. They have access to everything else through other means as well. Can they demand money from a woman? No, since the male always needs to be the one to take care of things in a relationship. Guys still have the option to look for male friendship. Are they able to look for a friend? I believe they can find that in both persons and dogs. Hence, truthfully and without offense, what men desire from women is what's under the surface. Men truly don't feel the need to get married and disrupt their quiet lives They're living as happy single guys when they can simply achieve that without any strings attached. So, as a result of all of this, women are becoming concerned. They are left feeling helpless as they witness guys abandoning the game of dating and marriage. What's your take on all of this? Let's discuss this in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching Man Reacts. Do show us your love by liking this video and subscribing to the channel.